Welcome to SketchUML, a digital learning utility for students and teachers to learn UML syntax. SketchUML has been developed by the Interactive Learning Technology Lab at the Oswego State University. SketchUML has been developed using the Microsoft Ink SDK and exposes a very simple interface. Classes can be drawn by simply drawing ink on the panel. Classes can be resized and moved. You can add attributes to the classes by simply writing into the attribute panel of the respective class. Please note that the Microsoft Ink SDK recognizes the handwriting and transforms it into a label. You can modify the attributes by using the scratch out gesture or the back of pen erase. You can manipulate the operations panel in the same way you can manipulate the attributes panel. Handwriting recognition is triggered when the cursor leaves the attributes panel or the operations panel respectively. If you write two or more words at the same time, SketchUML will create multiple operations or attributes according to the words that you have written. You can remove attributes or operations by using the scratch out gesture twice on the same attribute or operations name. Please note that upon resizing the class, the labels will change their size accordingly. SketchUML is designed to be as versatile as possible. There are multiple ways to create classes. You can either write a word and then draw a box around it, or you can draw a box and then write the word inside. The program understands three basic types of connections: a simple connection between two classes, a generalization, and an aggregation. Generalization or aggregation symbols can be drawn to either side of the connection between two classes. Every connection can be named, and the names of the connections can be modified using the same rules that are valid for attribute or operation modifications. Names of classes can be modified similarly to attributes, operations, and connection names. You can export your UML diagram to XML and restore the previously saved state from an existing XML file. Menu features of SketchUML allow you to create a new document, open an existing document, save the current diagram state, quit the program, as well as using copy and paste functionality. A future version will also contain a teacher mode that will allow critiquing a student's XML diagram and create a solution from a number of corrected examples. Please note that when a class gets deleted, all connections to other classes, as well as the names of the connections, will be deleted as well. Of course, previously deleted classes can be redrawn, and their connections to other classes can be modified again. As you can see, a connection gets created when an ink stroke is drawn. The beginning point of the ink stroke must start in the underlying rectangle of one class, and the endpoint of the stroke must end in an underlying rectangle of a different class. The ink stroke does not have to be a straight line. Analysis of ink that leads to the creation of a UML class symbol is triggered in three different ways. The first way is for the user to remain idle for 5 seconds. Note that in this example, the cursor is still in range, but the user is not drawing any ink for 5 seconds, which will trigger the ink analysis. The second analysis mechanism involves a distance metric. The next stroke, after having drawn a complete class symbol, will be considered not a part of the current class symbol if it is far enough away from the initial drawing point. Last but not least, ink analysis can get triggered when the cursor is not in range anymore. Note that the ink that belongs to the third class that has been drawn is immediately analyzed after the cursor has been moved out of range. This concludes the introductory tutorial to SketchUML. You might also be interested in SketchUML's sister project, TabCon, which is a learning utility that can be used by teachers to teach students concurrent programming. SketchUML is free for students and teachers for educational use, and the copyright is 2007 by the Interactive Learning Technology Lab of the State University of New York, the college at Oswego. Thank you very much for your attention.